So a new foldable steps into the ring. OnePlus has just announced the OnePlus Open, and in this box we have the device. We've got this really nice briefcase looking box. So let's quickly get into it and see what the new phone looks like. So right off the bat, we have the phone right here. So this is obviously not going to be what your packaging is going to look like if you get this phone, but this is what our packaging looks like. So the phone is front and center. This looks really slim, but we'll look at it in just a second. Let's open it up further, and we have the power brick here. It's a 80-watt SuperVOOC charger, so that's nice. We have what appears to be some documentation and a cable. So in this we do have the back case. So there is a frame case for the foldable, which is nice. We'll also put this to the side for the time being, and then if we go further in, we have a welcome benefits. I'm assuming this is where all the conversation is, as always. So let me see if I can pop this open. Yeah, so a message from Pete, as always. So if you guys are interested in reading that. Some additional documentation over here. Some stickers and a SIM ejection tool. And then we also have a standard OnePlus cable over here. So let's take a look at the phone. So that's what it looks like. We've got the black color here. It's got a matte leather finish on the back, which I really like. You can see the Hasselblad branding. So we've got two colors. We're checking out the black color. It has a matte leather back panel and a matte edge. So the metal is matte finished, and it looks really nice. Overall look and feel of the phone is really nice. It's a total of 5.9 millimeters thick when it's open. The leather finish is slightly thicker than the non-leather finish. So the emerald dust color is 5.8 millimeters, which is, so the leather adds a millimeter of thickness. And then if you close it up, it's still very thin at about 11 millimeters in terms of thickness. So it's a really slim phone despite it being a full-fledged foldable. So the fingerprint sensor is in the power button. So over here on the side, and this is what the main OS looks like. Now this is a specific OS which is designed for the folding screen, and there are some apps that are pre-installed and they have been optimized for the folding display. So you can see the total app list over here, and it looks really nice. The display and the inside display also looks nice. There is a edge or a bezel around the display, and the mechanism is slightly raised, so it is designed to protect the display. And honestly, the crease is there, and even with a dark, completely black wallpaper here, you can barely see the crease. You have to really look for it. You can also barely feel it, which is nice, because typically you can, even if you can't see the crease that much, you can feel it. In this case, you can also barely feel it, so it's not sort of bothersome. And you can also see that on the edge over here is a punch hole camera. They've also returned the alert slider, so you can obviously change your alerts from here, which is excellent. And it also gives you this animation over here, which is nice. So on the front over here, we have a 6.3 inch display. It's a 6.31 inch display with a 2484 by 1116 resolution, so about 2K resolution, and you do have 431 pixels per inch. This display has 1400 nits of brightness, where it can peak out up to 2800 nits, which is fantastic, and it's a 120 Hertz display. This is a dynamic LTPO3 display, and it can range from 10 Hz to 120 Hz. It will switch between the various refresh rates, so that's great. Once you open this up, you get almost a 7.8 inch display over here. So it's a 7.82 inch display. This is also an OLED display, Flexi Fluid AMOLED display. It also has LTPO3, also is 120 Hz in terms of refresh rate. And as far as the resolution is concerned, this is also a 2K display with a 2440 by 2268 pixel resolution, and you do have 426 pixels per inch. So it's a fairly sharp display as well. And this too can go up to 2800 nits. and 1400 nits in terms of native brightness. So both of these displays fairly sharp, really bright for both usage indoors as well as outdoors. Both have LTPO3, which is excellent. So in terms of specifications of the displays, there's no complaints. Also, I'm really digging the lack of a crease. I mean, there's definitely a crease, and they've also mentioned that you shouldn't press down on the crease. So what they're trying to tell you is don't fold the phone by pressing down on the crease. So you want to fold the phone like this instead of doing this by pressing in the middle, which a lot of people, I'm assuming, do. So that will be better for longevity of your phone. Now, running everything inside, of course, specifications wise, is the Qualcomm Snapdragon Series 8 Gen 2 flagship chip. We also have 16 GB of RAM and 512 GB of storage. This does have dual SIM support, but one of them is going to be an eSIM, so you can pop in a physical SIM in there. And then you also have optimizations for a lot of the apps, and you do have things like split screen. And you can see that it's already giving me a tutorial for the split screen. So how to enable the split window. If I long press, I can enable the split window. So if I have something already open and I long press, I can drag into a split window over here. And then I can also sort of move this around. So if I want to shrink it out, it's also giving me more tutorials now. I can also add 3 apps if I want to do that. A lot of these apps will support split view out of the box, but a lot of apps will not. So you'll have to wait for the apps to be updated, but a lot of the main apps, social media apps and all of that, will support split view out of the box. That's great. If you do have multiple windows open, you can drag and drop files across them, which is really cool. The operating system will also get frequent updates, and they're promising 4 years of software updates and 5 years of security updates. Not as much as the Pixel, but welcome change. 4 years is pretty good, I think, especially for a foldable phone. If we talk about the cameras over here, you do have a triple camera setup. You have two 48 megapixel cameras. One is a main camera and one is an ultra wide camera, and both are Sony sensors. And then you also have a 64 megapixel sensor over here, which is a 3x sensor. But internally in the camera, it'll do a double X zoom. So I'm assuming they will stack the pixels, and that'll give you a 6x zoom. So you're in total getting a periscope lens and two main 48 megapixel cameras. Both of them are fairly bright. We will be taking them for a test. This phone will also do 4K 60 and will also record in Dolby Vision in 4K 30, which is kind of fantastic. So they're getting into that whole pro video thing. You have OIS on the main camera as well as the periscope lens, and you have EIS on the ultra wide camera as well. So you do have two front facing cameras as well. So if you open the screen, you get a 20 megapixel front facing camera, which sits on the edge of the phone. So it sits on the edge of the phone over here. And then if you close the screen, you have a 32 megapixel camera, which sits in the center in a punch hole design. This fingerprint sensor doesn't seem to be it, but I will be testing it out in depth. Overall, I really like the look and feel of the phone. I'll quickly put on this frame as well. I am excited. I'm finally getting excited with foldable phones. So that is really nice. So the back panel also has a leather-like texture. This is a protection frame for the phone, which is fantastic. It fits on there quite well. It is included in the box, so no complaints there whatsoever. The battery is also fairly large for the slim design. We've got a 4800 milliamp hour battery, which can charge to 100% in just 42 minutes, which is fantastic with the included charger, of course. So you need to use the 80-watt charger that comes in the box. Let's quickly open up Galaxy Flip. So this is one of the thinnest folding phones. Now, this is not really a folding phone. This is a flip fold phone. But you can see that this is a really slim phone. I'll remove the cover, and I've been using this regularly. So with respect to that, in terms of thickness, I will also remove the case that I just put on for no reason, if I can get it off. So as you can see, in terms of thickness, it appears to be actually slimmer than the Galaxy Flip, which is saying a lot about this phone. Of course, if you ignore the camera bump, if I just look at the bottom part over here, this thing is slimmer than the Galaxy Flip when it is folded. This phone is really slim, and it's also not that heavy. It's about 238 grams in terms of its weight, which is quite cool. So if you guys are interested in a full review, if you want us to stack it up with some other folding phone, let us know in the comment section below. Overall, it's a fairly good package. It's a really slim phone. We've got a fingerprint sensor over here, really nice metals. Now they claim that this metal is some alloy, aerospace alloy, which is stronger than stainless steel. I'm not too sure. I'm sure a lot of tests will be done to check out the durability of this phone. But as far as we are concerned, it feels really nice in the hand, and the look, especially for the leather finish, is really good. And on the back, the phone looks really fantastic. So if you have any questions or queries about the OnePlus Open, we will be putting it through the paces and we will be testing it out. Let us know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.